Hi everyone, hello. There we go. Am I connected on Facebook? Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. I'm going live on Instagram and also Facebook, my business account, Sudi_Burnett. You guys can send us your question. Today I'm going live with my dear friend, Dr. Naina. I did a live with her for those of you who are joining us for the first time and you didn't get a chance to watch our last live. Dr. Naina is a MD. She's a functional practitioner and also amazing statistician. And what I love about her is when you get an appointment with Dr. Naina, the first thing that she does, she will look at your whole history. She would look at your lab tests. She would look at what's going on internally, inside and out, and then she will work on your skin. So when I went to her, when was it, a couple of weeks ago, she sent me to go and get all my lab tests and also saliva for my hormonal and hormonal imbalances and all that. So she's a wealth of information. That's why I asked her to do a joint live with me every single week, because we cover everything from where is your thyroid, how are your inside and outside. Is that, who is that? I'm looking for Dr. Naina to come to add her in. Anyways, looking at your guts, which we know if you want to have good skin and good health and good hair and everything, where we look at is mainly what's going on in the guts. 80% or even more of our health, the quality of our skin and our hair, it depends on how healthy our gut is, the good bacteria versus bad bacteria. So I know that you guys many times ask me what do you use on your skin and what do you do to your hair and blah blah blah. I would always say let's look into the guts, because I take daily probiotics, and also I had a history of IBS many years ago when I wasn't aware. I was running with overactive adrenal glands, right? So later on I really got it deep into intestine, the guts and all this stuff. So mainly we have to know where we're standing in the inside our guts. We got to look at our adrenal glands, how we go through our days. Hello everybody. Hi Shayda John. Here it is, Dr. Naina. She gotta send me. Dr. Naina, would you please send me a request so I can get you in? Yes. There we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Go live. Okay, let me see if I got her in. Connecting. Good morning, Dr. Naina. Hello. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am amazing, thanks to you.
You look fabulous. You look absolutely fabulous.
Love you. Thank you so much. So I already introduced you to my followers, and without any further ado, let's get into our subject today, because I know I already told them that you're a wealth of information and we have so much to cover. So the ball is in your hand. Let us know what we're going to talk about today.
You know, we decided that we would talk about weight loss, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's a topic that everyone is faced with. It is really reaching an epidemic proportions. In fact, whole industries have changed because we're realizing that to be even a normal weight is getting so difficult that we're oversizing everything. So I want to really touch bases on what inside, first of all, some of the things we can do from the inside, and then talk to you about some of the procedures that can be done from the outside. So the easy fixes, right? Liposuction and all of these other things. But we'll discuss how those may not also optimally work if your inside is not balanced. It goes right along with our philosophy, which is why we aligned ourselves. That is the inside-outside energy of every human being. It's the inside-outside beauty. It's the inside-outside health that really matters. So weight loss has several categories, and we look at the biochemical imbalances. And those biochemical imbalances are, we look at, number one, any gut imbalances. If there's gut imbalances and you have a dysbiosis, meaning an overgrowth of the wrong bacteria, or you've got candida, you're going to be bloated. Literally, I hear my clients say, I can grow like almost like I feel like I'm pregnant. Well, a lot of that, a lot of that is coming from candida overgrowth, or it could be fungal, or it could be just a dysbiosis. It could be SIBO, which is you get these foul smelling stools and so forth. All of that holds on. And if you are constipated, you cannot clear out the toxins. The metabolism becomes sluggish, and that's going to lead to weight gain. So that's one issue that we have to look at. The other issue is hormones. So we're finding more and more people, because there's so many hormone disruptors in the environment, the meats, the diet, the even the products, topical products, have what we call estrogen dominance, because they're full of hormone disruptors. We call them, they disrupt our hormone balance. Things like pesticides, a lot of the soy, which is really not that, how soy is derived. The true amazing soy that used to be was great, but now the way soy is, it's really not soy. So that is an issue. Hormone driven meats, it goes on and on the list. So that puts our hormones under imbalance. So many women are getting endometriosis. Men are getting that gynecomastia. They're getting what we call the man chest, right? The breast. And then we're getting a lot of what we call menstrual disorders for women, fibrocystic breast disease. All of these, to me, and our functional medicine doctors, like myself, it's very much evident that they've got hormone imbalance issues, especially with the way that their estrogens are behaving. So that is it's a thing. When I was the Olay ambassador and I was in Dubai, many people asked me, the number one question by all the beauty editors and everyone was, Dr. Naina, why is there so much PCOS? These women who are having infertility issues and PCOS and everything. And it was because a lot of it was the hormone disruptors. And just think about this. I really want to hone in on this hormonal imbalance issue, because just think about this for a minute. You have hormones and you, let's say, ingest other hormones from other meats and things like that. You have to excrete them, correct? They get excreted into the urine. Then Absolutely. They go into the waste products, right? And it gets eventually into the waters or wherever. If you're not filtering, and hormones are very tiny, so if you're not filtering, is anyone really even testing the water that we drink? What are the trace amounts? Can they itself have? It's just something to think about. I've looked at the studies. There's really no studies that are really addressing this, just, occasional. But just think about that. So what I'm trying to get at is, don't beat yourself up. That's not an excuse not to eat right and take care of what you're supposed to do. but it also may be an issue that we're just getting so much hormones and a toxin overload from that it's just like, how do I ever lose that weight? You know?
Yeah.
So that's one, that second aspect. The third aspect is your neurotransmitters. So we have neurotransmitters in our brain, and there's excitatory and there's inhibitory. And if the excitatory ones are working great, then that means it's going to drive our focus. It's a dopamine, it's great, but that also helps our metabolism. And if that's not balanced, you might feel more depressed. That's going to just get you down, and that's going to have a tremendous effect on your whole energetic energy. You're going to lose your metabolism and all of that. So depression, as you know, is and sometimes it can get you into food cravings, uncontrolled. Hormone imbalance can also, by the way, do food cravings. Suddenly you're craving sugar when you've never craved sugar before. So these are things that neurotransmitters are definitely things to look at that need to be balanced. Fourthly, it's their metabolism. Do you really, and I really, this is the one I really want to hone in on, is because if you go to the best doctor in the world, the best credentialed doctor in the world, 10 times better than me or anyone else, and you ask them, check my thyroid, they're just going to do a TSH. And a TSH is simply from the brain, right? Hormone, your thyroid is making enough hormone. If it's not, it'll tell the brain, hey, tell me to make more hormone, and and that's how you diagnose. But what if that pattern from the brain messaging down to the thyroid, that signaling is disrupted by maybe a brain injury or a concussion, you just a early childhood, whatever, it can be affected. No one's really looking at that. No one's really looking at what is the end receptor effect, meaning every hormone has a receptor response. So if your thyroid gets converted to T3, and it's the T3 that needs to go and hit your receptor like a key and say, okay, speed up your metabolism. Okay, brain, start thinking, start focusing. Okay, start doing this. And if you don't have that, and if your body's not converting that, you could check all the hormone you want in the blood. But if you don't have your receptor response working, so we're missing a lot in our thyroid testing. And we feel, a lot of integrative doctors feel that there are a lot more, millions and millions of people that are walking around with thyroid dysfunction. We don't want to give it a disease, hypothyroidism, as the medical diagnosis code goes, but no one's addressing a thyroid dysfunction. So that it can cause huge, weight gain issues. And people go on for years. I've seen clients for like 15, 20 years gaining 50 pounds. And every time they were told their thyroid's fine, and then we do this different kind of testing, and suddenly we find, wait a minute, or you've got autoimmune, you've got Hashimoto's, or you've got this, you've got that. So that's very important. And lastly is your environmental toxin exposure. This is my favorite one because I am a toxin, that's a passion of mine. And the toxins, if they get into your body, how do you protect the fat cells? They say, okay, we'll take you, we're gonna envelop you, and we're gonna protect you from the rest of the body. You can't get out. And it's the fat cells. And so they start to expand. So really, a lot of your getting overweight is an issue of toxins too. So that's why, and people forget all about the detox, which, for me, I'm such a geek, biochemistry. It's like, okay, even when you guys detox, you have to detox the right way. If you just detox on a simple detox regimen, there's a whole elaborate way of detox, which we'll discuss on another show. But so the proper kind of detox becomes necessary. So these are some of the things from the inside that can affect your weight gain, right? And so you could eat calories in, and our doctors, it's very depressing, by the way. Calories in, calories out, and you're literally eating nothing. And then people, then the doctor tells you. One other thing which I've actually wanted, before I leave this topic and go to the outside, is food allergies. So, when we have inflammation in our gut, it's kind of related to the gut issue, but if we have inflammation in the gut, these tight junctions, desmosomes, start opening up, and then larger food particles are allowed, and the body says, I don't recognize this, I'm going to form an antibody to it. So a lot of times, gluten, wheat. But if you go to a doctor and test for it, you're fine, because you haven't had the pathological diagnosis. It hasn't reached that extent. Well, a first grader by that time is going to be able to tell you something's wrong. So these are sensitivity. We call it a gluten sensitivity. And that's picked up by an allergy test that there's a whole elaborate way to do a proper food allergy test. So if you do a proper food allergy test, it will pick this up, and some of the other food allergies. And so that will just contribute to inflammation and overall your weight gain issue as well. So now we come to the favorite part, which every woman wants to ask, what can I do at the outside, right? What's the easy way out? Well, you can take, watch your calories in, calories out, but how are you going to on the outside be able to? Sometimes we go to liposuction and we have a surgeon come in and we just take off like 2 or 3 pounds or whatever liters of 3 liters, more than that, 5. It depends how overweight or how much fat that person has. And there's 2 types of fat, or there's more fat, but generally 2 types of fat that I want to touch on today is sub-Q, which is right under your skin, but there's also visceral fat, which is right around the organs. That's really hard to get. So when you go for a liposuction, you can't address that. And that's the one that can be really active. So have you ever, I don't want to sound gross, but if you have a chicken and they've got the fat around the organs, right? Sometimes that's that deep fat. And the only way you're going to get rid of that fat is to increase thermogenesis and liquefy it. It's not going to evaporate on you. You can't suction it out because so the way you have to address that is to increase your thermogenesis, which is your heat, and build up your metabolism, which you look at again, go back to all your internal imbalances. And the point I'm trying to make is you could do your liposuction and feel great for a while. But I've done this, and please talk to the surgeons that are actually doing this. A lot of my clients that go in for that procedure, I do a body composition, the fat composition, right? Your body fat is, percent body fat. When you came to my office, we do that a lot. But it doesn't change a lot of people. It doesn't change that much. So effectively you feel tighter, which is great because you reduce that subcutaneous fat and everything, but it's not like you've lost 10 pounds of all of that fat, because you've still got that visceral fat, and your body composition a lot of times doesn't change until you institute that thermogenesis. So sometimes surgeons put you on a stimulant right after the surgery so you can lose the 10-15 pounds and really get that going, and then start losing your fat, which leads to, then you get on the stimulant, and then getting off the stimulant, you can get more weight gain. So you get to that battle. So we look at natural stimulants. So there's natural stimulants you can do that are not going to affect your heart or your lungs. There's natural things you can do to increase that's obviously exercise is one that increases your metabolism. But liposuction is a great tool, but you need to know how to use it wisely. It's not just a quick fix. It means, and those fat cells can travel elsewhere, and suddenly you're going to get, I just got liposuction here. How come I have another roll up here now? So how many liposuctions are you going to keep doing, right? Then there's machines like Cool Sculpt and a lot of different kind of machines that suddenly will kill the fat cells, and then or freeze the fat cells, or through ultrasound they'll kill the fat cells. And that's the whole idea. You kill the fat cells, they eliminate it from your body, and then you feel like, oh wow. But a lot of times, again, on those, if you really suddenly kill those fat cells, you can actually sometimes, I've had people get nodules, or they actually sometimes gain weight, which is really weird. But it's not so weird when you think about this. You release toxins. And those fat cells I just told you, and if you kill a lot of fat cells, well, the toxins have to go somewhere. And if they're not eliminated, and you don't have the proper metabolism to eliminate everything, they're just going to go and redistribute in your body. So there you go back to square one again. So we have a machine. And obviously I'm in aesthetic medicine. It's very important, to utilize those machines. But I really got a machine that I really liked, and that is that uses a slow kill of the fat cells, meaning the triglycerides.
Is that the one you have, Dr. Naina?
Venus, it's called the Venus Legacy. I like it more because again, it's knowing how to use the machine too. It's not just you can use that machine. Let me put it this way: if you just did 20 minutes on that machine and you did 20 minutes on the Cool Sculpt, you're going to get a better result with the Cool Sculpt, even though you fat killed and all. But if you do it with a technique of, okay, let's get the body temperature heated where we know the fat's being liquefied, then we start that treatment. And so there's certain ways of addressing it. That's an amazing, powerful tool then. We have amazing clients that start lose that weight. They're doing it slowly. We initiate homeopathic lymphatic detox regimens along with it. Sometimes we give a glutathione push. We sometimes do, there's sometimes when you release a lot of triglycerides, your triglycerides will go up. So we give niacin post-treatment, at a very low dosage amount. So there's ways to overcome that. And the other lovely aspect about that machine is that it has PEMF, which is pulsed electromagnetic field technology. Look this up, you guys. You need to start looking PEMF. There's mats, like people buy these beamer mats or these earthing mats, right? And it's kind of to do with that pulsed electromagnetic field. And it sets up the whole idea of that technology is to stimulate your circulation. So you stimulate the circulation, you bring stem cells, you promote all of these, obviously you increase metabolism, but you also end up, by doing that, you increase the diameter and functioning of your lymphatics, which can, again, eliminate the fat. So that's an amazing tool to have on that machine. And the third thing that machine has, which I remember years ago when I first bought the machine, I was one of the few in the nation to do that. And I know at that time, the owner, we worked with it. The second version, or the newer versions came out, which I said, put a suction on. So now it suctions. So you have great lymphatics, almost like doing a massage. So now imagine you're doing a slow kill. Now you're doing all the right tools to eliminate that fat. You're enhancing that in lymphatic drainage, right? And now you've even added on this massage to even further eliminate that. I mean, you've got a great win-win situation. So again, I think it's just how you combine treatments and you combine regimens. That's the key. It's not just saying, oh, let me go this is a special on this thing. Go do it. But we're inundated with cancers right now. We're inundated with toxin exposure like it's never been. It's in epidemic proportions of cancer and chronic disease. And the last thing you want to do is put on your body is suddenly release these toxins and not know, okay, my body's just going to deal with it. So
Gotcha.
You see what I mean?
Dr. Naina, I'm so sorry. I want to interrupt you for a second.
No, I'm done.
Is there any way that you could have a better connection? Because I see some messages that your connection is not that great. You cutting out. And also, if I may ask you, your connection is where your modem is, so is the internet connection. Are you close to your modem? As far as I know.
Let me go to a different part of that. Yes, we've been having a little problem with the office with all the business cut down. Let me go to another part of my office, okay?
That would be awesome.
I'm going to be right back. Okay,
that would be great.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Yes, because we really need to concentrate and hear you. Hello, everybody. Okay, what did I tell you guys? I mean, Dr. Naina, it's amazing. She got so much information that is unbelievable. What's the machine called, please? Shallow John, I'm going to ask her, but from what I know, you live in England, so I will ask her to tell us more about the machine. But don't miss the rest of, hello, darling. Don't miss the rest of information she's giving us, okay? And please ask her to send info about the machine. I will do that, yes. Hi, Lavi. Hi, Nahid. Okay, guys, don't overlook the whole information that she's giving you. Here she comes. Here she comes. Dr. Naina. Go live with, am I doing this right? Go live. Come on, Instagram. Let's see if I add her. Let's see if she's coming back, okay? So don't overlook the whole information. There she is. Okay. Wonderful.
Is it a better connection?
Beautiful.
I feel like it, yeah. Perfect.
Yes, love you. Thank you.
It's one part of my office that I shouldn't have been, but it's my office. I have to go to the other room. So yeah.
I get that.
Okay.
Yes, Laudan is also into beauty, and she's got a lot of information to observe.
So the
Dr.
machine I
Naina,
was hearing it's a Venus Legacy. It's called the Venus Legacy. It has there's a Venus Freeze. Don't do that one. It's a Venus Legacy. It's got a suction part of it, and it's got the PMF technology. And when you go there, ask them to show you. If you go and get that treatment done, ask the operator to show you, have I reached that 41, 42 degree temperature? From that point, then do a 20-minute treatment. And if you have a big abdomen or even a medium-sized abdomen, there should be a 20-minute on one side and 20-minute on the other side. Normally, it's just a 20-minute treatment they do, and we actually do double to get the best results.
okay.
Starting from when you reach that temperature of 41, 42. So
41, 42.
that's the trick of that machine.
Okay.
Yeah, then it works. And then take niacin after, about 100 milligrams of niacin. It's fabulous because it's going to clear your triglycerides. If you've got a sluggish metabolism, you're going to just be sitting there with this fat saying, I want to leave, I can't leave. So you take niacin about 100 milligrams. And
Nice.
so that'll be very helpful. Yeah.
Okay. So as we're speaking, this just come to me. Would it be possible that you do a demonstration? Maybe I come to your office one time.
Yeah, let's do that. Where I'm gonna do, let's do it on you. You're gonna love this.
Yes, guys, I get a treatment.
And guess what we'll do? We'll actually check we'll do the inches. And when we do a treatment of that, within even one treatment, we get very often we get half an inch, at least half an inch reduction immediately. But you'll see the tightness, and you'll be the one. You'll tell everyone. Yeah. Let's do it.
So Dr. Naina, can you tell us exactly what this machine does?
So what it does is through multipolar radio frequency, meaning there's just radio polar frequency machines, and most of them are two-dimensional. So it's like an in and out. This one is a bipolar. So it's like you've got all these the energy waves going all over. So it's becomes three-dimensional. So now you can evenly heat the body where you're trying to get the fat cells to be released from the cells and to be eliminated. So through this multipolar radio frequency, the fat, which is in the form of triglycerides, it opens up the cells, the triglycerides come out, and they go outside the cell, and now they have to be released through the lymphatic. Okay? So that's what this machine does. It gets that fat out of those fat cells. And secondly, what it does is it's called pulsed electromagnetic field, PEMF. PEMF, and also it'll promote skin tightening. So when you actually reach that temperature, you're also through the radio frequency, you get great skin tightening. So you're going to get skin tightening, you're going to get elimination of the fat, you're going to lose some weight, some inches off your body. But also it's got PEMF, which is pulsed electromagnetic field. So you're going to get your own stem cells promoted, angiogenesis. There's a lot of nice stuff. Read about it, you guys. Check it out. It's PEMF. That technology is even being used to treat depression. I mean, it's all over. People are getting mats to sleep on. I mean, it just helps increase circulation, basically.
Awesome. Shala is asking, can I get it in UK?
Yes, they have it, because when I helped set up a clinic in Dubai. We have it in, they have it in Dubai. They've got by the next show, I can find out from my buddies where in England are you?
She's in London, I believe.
Okay, yeah, we'll do it in. There's definitely. I'll find you the names of the clinics that have it in London.
Okay, so now I want to ask you. Remember, I told you about a friend of mine that she went to Switzerland or somewhere, and she lost 25 pounds, right?
Yes.
And you told me right away that was inflammation.
Yes.
Okay. So now she's here. What's the next step? Because you told me, you said, okay, that's so good and dandy. What is she going to do with the rest of it? And how are her hormones?
Right. So this is the thing. You can, it's a beautiful way to lose like 25 pounds the way she did, right? It's like a forest fire. You suddenly lower the inflammation. Now but you still have cinders. And if you don't take care of the all the things I mentioned, the gut, the hormones especially, and you don't look at things internally, you know, anything, even a simple thing like optimal vitamin D levels. There's like a whole checklist of things to look at. Guess what's going to happen? She's going to become the fire again. And the weight's going to go back up. You know, to the place where she was in Switzerland. We're going to try to lose the weight. And over time, what will happen is you won't be able to lose as much weight. So then you wonder, what's going on? I tried the same thing and I can't lose weight, because your body continues to biologically age. And if you don't address those imbalances, you're not internally, you are still going to become a forest fire. So it's very important then, we look at the hormones, we look at certain nutrient levels, we look at the gut, we look at just, there's, you know, there's actually a basic blood work you can do and look at. And I do that a lot. Like I'll just, people who just are, you know, that from, you know, that just want wellness regimens, I just kind of say, okay, get this blood work. Let's see, you're working with a doctor. And so I help work with their doctor and things like that. But it's very important to do that. It's very important to look at your internal biochemistry.
So let's take it step by step. Like for this friend, she lost 25 pounds, right?
Right.
Now she wants to start with you. Where do you start? What do you do?
I would do blood. I just ask her a history, and based on that history, I will know what blood work to get. And as soon as she gets that blood work and a saliva test, usually I like to do a saliva test. Yeah. There's different kinds of saliva tests. I can do one in my office for like $40. Horrible, because it's based on a methodology that's not accurate. You want to get the one that has $1 million machine. I love this lab, and so I always send my saliva test to this particular lab. It's called liquid chromatography mass spectrometry method, the LCMS method of saliva testing. And when I do that, it's fabulous, because right away I know what to do, what to initiate. And we generally just initiate very low dose. That's the beautiful part. We initiate just very low dose bioidentical hormones, yam-based, not soy-based. Yam-based, I have my own base, which makes it unique, because you don't want to, in your bases, even have things that are, you know, that could be harmful for you. So we immediately start that regimen, and it's just a simple little cream right inside of the wrist. It's that simple. And I can't tell you the number of lives of women and men that literally it affects for positive. It's pretty amazing. And I believe in low dose. So if we do, we never give a large peak. So a lot of that, and that's what I teach a lot of the anti-aging doctors and people who are doing this, is you're going to get in trouble if you just suddenly go high, which, you know, when Suzanne Summers came out about bioidentical hormones, right? She said, let's have a period. It should be natural. No, yeah. It's not. Because as you biologically age and you're giving yourself I cannot control your exposure of all the hormones you're getting from the environment and the toxins. Yeah. So if I give you small peaks, what's the worst case that's going to happen? You're going to go back to your friend and say, oh, nothing happened to me. I can live with that. I can't live with, oh my God, I got this. Don't be fooled, because bioidentical hormones, if given in large doses, can still cause issues. So people think, oh, it's the safest thing. No, it's not. Provided it's safe, provided you're doing the low dose and you're using nutrigenomics, certain nutrients that you see that can upregulate and even downregulate those hormones. So my topic is, and I love to talk about it, is called nutrigenomic, meaning nutrient enhancement of your bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, and maintaining you in the normal range. So if you're in the low end, I just move you maybe into a middle for you. Maybe for another person, I'd move a little higher, because I figure that's better for her. But I'll always keep you in the low, in the normal range. And that's
I did the saliva test too, right?
Right. It's like a vitamin D level. I'm going to give you an example. Okay, let's talk about vitamin D, right? So we have like vitamin D, and if you have vitamin D levels that are 30, okay, that's not sufficient. If you have autoimmune or anything else going on, sorry, and you say, well, my levels were normal. My doctor told me my levels were normal. Okay, what were those levels? We're going to get used to a term called optimal for you.
Yeah.
And so optimal for someone who is immune, and especially now with all the COVID going on, we know vitamin D is boost tremendous interferon levels. I mean, we're sending vitamin D to a lot of the villages, and you know, my ancestry is India. We're really trying to get that going, project going, and things like that, because we know the benefit of vitamin D. Studies are coming out for that. So vitamin D should be 50. And in some people with autoimmune and a chronic disease, they should be 60 to 70 to 80. 80 is not dangerous. People are misled that that's dangerous. It's not. I'm not a conspiracist. I'm an activist too. I'm an integrative doctor, but you know my story. I disagree with a lot. Yeah, I disagree with a lot with what we're doing in conventional medicine. We've separated ourselves from, you know, the nutrient, the homeopathy is trying to become outlawed. They took it out, trying to take out the US. London is trying to do the same thing. It's insanity what's happening right now. Medical tyranny is what I call it. And, but nevertheless, the vitamin D levels up to 80 are fine. Yes, over 100. So what's the harm? Go get your levels checked. And thank God we have vitamin D still available over the counters, because and one of my clients told me that that in Europe, apparently you can't get vitamin D more than 1,000. You have to go to your doctor, which is sad. Luckily in America, fortunately, we're still able to get higher doses of that. So
Dr. Naina, sorry, I want to cut you out here. I got two questions. Lauren lives in Irvine or whatever. She asked, she wants to use the machine. Do you accept insurance? If not, she wants to know how much the visit or for consultation.
I think right now, usually each treatment is usually about, I think, we've really lowered the price, because I do a lot of inside. So my whole practice is based on inside treatments. I'm a formulator and all of that. So my aesthetic portion of my practice, we come down on the prices, because that's like our added benefit to our clients. So we do about $350 for if it's 2 treatment areas and you're going to have 2 or 3 treatments. Sometimes we'll go down to one. It varies from $175 to $350.
Yeah, but her question, the question I have is regarding consultation.
Oh, consultation because for your clients, and we are setting aside time slots and things like that. Usually my consultations are anywhere from $595 to $995, but we're doing for you it'll be much lower. I think they're down to $350.
Discount for my people.
Yeah, for you, I think we're going down to $350 or something like that, $295 to $350. Yeah.
Okay. Because Marla is from Canada, and she also said, "Does this machine can they use this machine in Canada? Probably Toronto."
Yes, they can, and I'll tell you the.
But
I'm very familiar with that. I'm the person for the machine. I believed in it so much, so I can give your audience. I'll give you all the places. If you get feedback, I'll tell you, and I'll try to track down where the machine is. Okay, I'll call the reps up and ask them which clinics have those machines.
Fabulous. Okay, so consultation, guys, with Dr. Naina, with my discount, it would be, shall we say, $299, Dr. Naina?
You got it.
Yes. But here's the deal.
Anything, Sudi, we go back a long ways. This energy is fine. It's totally fine. You know what? I'm a workaholic, so it's like I still see my patients. So if we have more clients, we just work till 9. We'll work till 10. Believe it or not, we go from, you know that. I do my other business, and then I start my office around noon, and then depending on how my clients go, we're like till 9:30. We go up till 7 till 10.
Yeah. But here's the deal, Dr. Naina. I want to emphasize how important it is that people get a consultation with you, because until you don't really get to the deep in to see what's the underlying cause, whether you have thyroid issues or whether you have gut issues or whatever, anything that you do and all the money that you're going to spend on the machines and that stuff is going to be useless. So I would definitely recommend to get a consultation with Dr. Naina first. Let her go through your lab test, even if you live in Europe or in wherever you are, Canada, and then go to the next step.
We can work. I can work with their doctor. I can tell them exactly what regimen they need based on that blood work, and that blood work they can get anywhere in the world. I can just give them this is a blood work. Go to your doctor, get this blood work, or go to a lab and get this blood work. We can work with that doctor. That's generally what I do. And then a lot of it is just nutraceuticals, so that can be gotten anywhere. And I can tell them even what kind of nutraceuticals to get, which ones contain soy and all of that. I'm a formulator, for goodness sake. So absolutely. I think it's so important for people to understand the concept that I wish we didn't have to take pills, but it's better to take nutrients, and our foods don't even have the value of vitamins they haven't been retested for 50 years. Yeah. This is the truth. The RDA values are based on foods that were not genetically modified, that were not irradiated. I mean, it's we're really getting, yeah.
Okay, so let's get back to my friend. Now, she's going to do the test. You're going to look at her lab. You're going to see if she needs to get to further stuff, because she's menopausal, so she probably needs a saliva test done and all that. Then what's the next step? Is she going to use the machine? And if yes, how many times and how often?
Yeah. So we'll set a regimen. First, I say, let's get her metabolism going from the inside. So I'll put her on a list of maybe nutraceuticals, what we call nutrigenomic. And nutrigenomic, I think in my last show with you, I defined nutrigenomics is a little different from just nutrients or vitamins. It's nutrients that actually affect at the genetic level. So in other words, you can't change your genes, but the way you express your genes can be changed through nutrition. And let me give you an example. If you have a woman destined to get breast cancer, okay, because she's got the genes, and you have another woman that's not, based on the nutrigenomic way, certain nutrients that we can give and certain lifestyle things that we can do, the one that was not going to get the breast cancer will get it, and the one that was destined to get the breast cancer may not get it. So it's really it's the power of epigenetics is here. It's not even a debatable. Epigenetics is here to stay. It's evidence-based now. Yep. It's science-based, and epigenetics is also, as you know, in your healing, how important that has become. Because you change that energy. You're tuned in, you're channeled into that energy. That's all part of epigenetics, my dear. And that, by the way, even our emotions are now into our genes, inherited down into our gene. That's on the epigenetic part of it. And the powerful part that I want to empower everybody, don't tell me it's in my genes to have diabetes. Don't tell me it's in my genes to have cancer. Don't tell me in my genes to have depression. By just what I defined, nutrigenomics and epigenetics, you can change the way you express that. So the empowerment is in you, you guys. It's in you. Our tool, Sudi's role, my role is simply to empower you to heal your own self. Right?
Absolutely. Yes. So Dr. Naina, hallelujah to that. Let's get back to my friend, because now, after she lost the 25 pounds, she's thinking that I need more to lose before I tighten up. So I want us to be really clear on this part.
Yeah. So basically what we'll do is we'll put her on a regimen. We may, if she has a hormonal imbalance issue, we'll balance all of the stuff inside. Now she's ready, because now if it's a thyroid dysfunction, we'll correct that. So within, 4 weeks of doing that, now she's ready for some of the outside treatments, and they'll work because she's got that metabolism going. She's got everything being detoxed. She's got all her internal biochemical imbalances being corrected. And now she goes on to the Venus Legacy. Usually it's a session of about 6 sessions, but she'll notice that in the first treatment, she will notice something. And so she'll have success in the first treatment, the way we do it. But it's usually a series of 6 treatments in an area. So you can do like underarms, or you can do your abdomen. It's usually the belly fat, which most of my clients come for. So that's it. And then there's also for the neck, you can do neck tightening and a little bit of fat reduction. You can utilize that. So any one of those modalities, usually it's about 6 sessions.
So let me ask you this. Okay, 6 sessions, we got it. Let me ask you this. Wouldn't this be much better than liposuction? Because when you do liposuction, you end up with some loose skin afterwards, right? But this machine, it tightens and also burns the fat. So wouldn't this be the best approach to go?
I think let me answer that, because I have a surgical background. So I set out to be in plastic surgery. So I have that surgical background to tell you, some women, no matter what they do, they just have to get that fat removed. I'm being honest. They need to get 2 or 3 liter fats just to get going. Yes, they'll have the loose skin, but then the surgeon will have to excise that. So it becomes more than a liposuction. It becomes like a tummy tuck and all of those kind of things, right? But this is the point. This machine, I work with surgeons. And so this machine, I basically get people ready even for the surgery. So this machine is used for that. It's also because of the massage part of it. After some time of the surgery, you use this machine to get rid of the abdominal bloating and stuff that often happens after your liposuction, because you release so much inflammation, so many toxins, you're now bloated. There's a lot of fluid, a lot of all of this, but this machine also helps. So we use this machine pre, and then we sometimes use it post. And we have another machine called the Light Stim. I don't know if you've ever heard of LED therapy.
Yes,
you can get little devices, right? You can get little devices right now to your face. Light Stim is a company, it's a professional company. I've got their machine as well. It's really amazing because it's just so concentrated. I combine that treatment. So when my clients are having that, if they've got another 15 minutes, we just throw that in. We don't charge for that separate. We just that's included part of our treatment. We put them under the Light Stim. Now we've really got more stem cells, more tightening, more whatever going, and more clearing of the lymphatics. So it's all beneficial. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, do this treatment, and if you're still not getting the results, there's no harm done, because that's what a lot of surgeons anyway like, to get that. You have to get that fat liquefied. It'll make their job easier, because now the fat is softer. It's not cold, hard fat, right?
So let me ask you this, Dr. Naina. I worked with a client a few years ago, and she lost with me. It was crazy, the approach that I used, but I was, from my healing background stuff, I was okay with it. She lost 30 pounds in 1 month. But what I did with her, first of all, she lived with me for that month. What I did with her, I put her on a raw juicing, all greens, and blah, blah, blah.
That's detoxing. Yeah, you detox her.
So I went to the detox part, a lot of salads and greens and that stuff. Also, she used to work out for an hour in the morning. I took her swimming or for a walk, hour to hour and a half in the afternoon. She lost 30 pounds in 1 month. And then she says, I want to have a plastic surgeon take a look at me. I want to lose more, because she had a lot of, like crazy. When I took her to the plastic surgeon, because she was diabetic, the plastic surgeon said, I would not touch you because you have diabetic, and her blood sugar was fluctuating up and down. He said, I won't touch you. Whatever she did is amazing. Continue doing. So in this matter, if the client doesn't have the option to do liposuction, but then definitely this is the way to go, right?
Absolutely. In fact, it does nothing but benefit. In fact, a diabetic, and that's not where surgery is not an option. This is the perfect thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, fabulous.
And guess what else we throw in now recently? So I worked with a compounding pharmacy, and metformin, right?
Yes.
We found out metformin is a lot of people get side effects when they take it, and I don't know if you've heard about this, but a lot of the additives in the metformin were cancer causing. So they did a recall. The drug company did a recall. So, and we know in anti-aging that it's I know Bill Falloon of Life Extension Magazine, and I do a lot of consulting with them and so forth. And we know that part of the age reversal program that we have in my clinic is use of metformin. But now we're into this dilemma. So guess what we're doing? We're applying topical metformin clean with resveratrol. It's phenomenal.
Woo!
And you get a nice tummy, but you can absorb it through your skin. Skin is the largest organ, right?
Yeah.
Don't forget, so we can absorb a lot. But I just wanted to throw that in because that's another amazing way for the person who has diabetes to be able to use that metformin cream with the resveratrol. And even if you don't have diabetes, just for age reversal benefits, we're using it and applying it around the abdomen. You kind of feel a little flatter. You know, it just helps.
Yes. So, Dr. Naina, tell us how much vitamin and mineral deficiency has an effect on our weights.
Oh, huge. Because if you don't have, okay, so the is sarcopenia. And what is sarcopenia? Sarcopenia is loss of muscle mass. So you cannot build, there's only 3 hormones that will build your muscle, okay? And that is thyroid and testosterone and growth hormone, and all 3 decline as we age. So it's no wonder we start, and as we lose muscle mass, what happens? We don't feel hungry as we get older, then our immune system goes down, then finally our number of cells go down, and then that's how we go the slow death of chronic disease, of chronic aging. But if you keep that muscle mass going, Evans did that study, but if we keep that muscle mass going, and the vitamins and minerals is very important, because in order to absorb the protein, you need the proper vitamins, nutrients, and minerals. If you don't have it, it's a gimmick. What's the point of saying, oh, I'm going to take 100 grams of protein? Okay, did you absorb the protein? Yeah. Was it bioavailable to you? Was it 90% bioavailable, or was it only like 50% bioavailable? So much of the protein gimmick at the bars, what a gimmick. Because if you don't absorb the protein, forget it. So the proper way is the proper nutrient balance, mineral balance, making sure your vitamin D is balanced, optimized, and having your essential fats. You have to have proper fats to absorb it. So that is why that can lead to fat, because if you can't make muscle, what do you make? Fat, right? Yeah. It's only fat or muscle. So that's why it's very, very important.
Now, can you tell us about brown fat? We read and hear a lot about brown fat versus yellow fat or white fat.
Yeah. So it's like the keto diet, which everyone's saying to burn the fats, right? The whole idea is the idea is that, you know, there's also a lot said about like medium chain triglycerides help burn your fats more. The idea is to try to burn the fats so they don't go and get stored as you know, on your body. I think too much ketoacidosis, how do I say this? It's how you do the ketoacidosis to burn the brown fat. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead of that, meaning if you have to eat a lot of bacon and red meats and things like that, which are inflammatory, just to burn the fat, it's a slow gain for you, because you're going to lose the weight, but you're going to put so much inflammation. Do not forget, and I don't know if a lot of people know this. Remember when Atkins diet was there with the high protein? Yeah. You know, please fact check this. I'm going on, I have to be very careful what I say. I'm a doctor, for goodness sakes. Atkins had heart disease. How come he had that if that was his diet? And he was a multi-million-dollar industry, right? So be very careful. And I'll give you the reasoning why. Red meats and a lot of this bacon and all that, they contain arachidonic acid. And you should be taking no more than 60 milligrams a day. Just to give you an idea, a 3-ounce steak will put you way over the limit of already 60 milligrams. Yeah. So, you know, fact check, start reading about arachidonic acid. And we give aspirin to lower your arachidonic acid, right? So it's no wonder when they do a vertical study and saying, oh, aspirin reduces heart disease, aspirin does this. Yeah, because it reduces your arachidonic acid levels, right? But they don't tell you all the other side effects it causes, right? So be sensible. Just don't take inflammatory foods. That's why you should really curb and be really careful with Beyond Meats. Oh my gosh. You know how much canola oil and oxidized fats? So I got to tell you about this, because now that we're touching this inflammation a little bit, if you take olive oil and you heat it, olive oil is great when you are in a salad, you know, cold. But when you heat olive oil, it oxidizes.
Yeah.
Not good. And if you oxidize oils, especially canola oil, oh my gosh, any of these, look at the oxidative free radicals and the damage that you get. It's horrific. But public never knows about this.
Yeah.
So all your controversy is eliminated if you just do a high heat, use a high heat safflower oil or a grapeseed oil or a coconut oil. Yes, coconut oil, there's a controversy, but not when you heat it, it's not going to oxidize. So you weigh the risk and benefits of each of the oils. Use your olive oil when it's cold.
Yeah.
But do not use it to heat and saute things because it will oxidize.
Yeah. I talked about homogenized oil and how dangerous it is to heat up oils many years ago, and also, but is it true that coconut oil has the best ability to be heated? I mean, it's less damaging than olive oil.
There's a whole controversy going on saying that no, about saturated versus unsaturated, but this has about 14 to 15% of it is made out of medium chain triglycerides. So it's very good when you're trying to lose weight. It's going to burn the fat. It's all in it's articles, biochemistry journals. I always like to read things which are in the biochemistry books and things like that. It's a biochemical fact that medium chain triglycerides will burn your fat more. Okay, they just do. So it's a good thing because now you've got the coconut oil. You're having some medium chain triglycerides, right, in that. Plus, you're not oxidizing it, so you're not going to cause more inflammation.
Yeah.
So to me, it makes sense. I cook in coconut oil on high heat.
Yes.
And I use olive oil in my if I do a salad.
Fabulous. Now, Dr. Naina, what I got a vitamin D shot from you. Last time I came to you, she's amazing. She treats me. She pampers me. What are the other options, like beside vitamin D, as far as shots or IV that you're using in the office?
We do amazing homeopathic. Never forget about homeopathy. Did you know when the first field of doctor training 80 years ago, or when it was in France, and homeopathy was the first thing everybody learned, and then it just got thrown out because of conventional medicine and drugs. Welcome to, you know, big pharma and the mafia. I think we do amazing. I've got fabulous homeopathic for lymphatic drainage, liver drainage, for even protection with the, virus protection, immune system, and on and on. So I do those. I do homeopathic, we call biopuncture, great anti-inflammatory for fibromyalgia. I do trigger point injections, which are phenomenal. And these actually have scientific studies done on arthritis and things like that. I also do vitamin D, but we use also lipotropics, where we can do it like a mesotherapy. So, and your abdomen, where we can use a bunch of nutrients that can start to dissolve the fat. So they're called lipotropics injections. We also do vitamin D and B complex. We use a very particular kind of B that's very bioavailable for the body, not just the regular, cyanocobalamin injection where your body has to work to metabolize. And we also do, so I do a lot of these injections where I do collagen injections. Those are from Italy, in addition to the fillers to enhance our results of our beauty treatments. So yeah, we do, and then we also do injections where they're just nutrients to the face as well, kind of like mesotherapy. Yeah, lots.
What does help the inflammation of the body? Vitamin D?
Absolutely. If it's one thing, you guys, I have to tell you, in this environment with the COVID situation, and I will bring you, we'll talk about, maybe do another talk about how to help your immune system through this COVID crisis, right? And I'm going to, in the next show, I'm going to show you these articles so that you guys see it. You need to see the biochemistry journals, because the media is not going to report what's in the biochemistry journals, right?
Yep.
So they're going to push the vaccine. You know, they're going to push drugs, they're going to push whatever, but you're not going to see simple nutraceutical things that can help enhance our system and our immune system. So I'll bring that. But for right now, the take home message is vitamin D. Keep it, ask your doctor what your level is, and keep it at least between 50 to 70 for sure. 30 is too low.
So the dose that you injected last time I was there, what was the dose?
I actually gave you, so that's like a 50,000 international unit vial. So if you come once a month, you can get like 1 ml of it. So you can get 50,000 at a time, or 25,000 at a time, or 10,000 at a time. And based on where you were deficient, that I chose to give you, you know, the 1 ml. So it depends on where people are, where we give the dosage. But the vitamin D is obviously, if you're going to do injections, you don't need it as often. But what I find is, and on a lot of my clients, even when I give the shots, they go up, but then they go down really quick. So they need a little something every day just to keep that level going as well.
Yeah, because when you gave me the shot for 2 or 3 days, I was like,
You feel
whoa,
it?
so energized. And then, as you said, after the 3rd day, eventually it wears down. So yeah.
And we haven't developed your whole nutraceutical regimen. So, but when we get your whole wellness regimen, you'll see that energy go on a rate.
Glowing. Just to wrap it up, Dr. Naina, tell us about glutathione, because a lot of people don't know what it is and what is it good for.
Yeah. So glutathione, there's an enzyme, the liver tries to detoxify. It's a detoxification. It's involved in the detoxification process. And what we have is phase 1 detoxification of the liver, where the liver makes free radicals. And then we have phase 2 of detoxification. It's composed of a lot of enzymes. One of those enzymes involve the glutathione pathway. So it utilizes glutathione, okay? And so glutathione is very, very,
very important.
And when we, very important for that. So I use it a lot if I'm really concerned about my clients having a release for after like a aesthetic procedure, or before an aesthetic procedure, or before they go for surgery or after surgery. Now, I also give it for neurological diseases. Dr. Perlmutter, who is a very famous neurologist, he has videos. The FDA thought he was lying and making up these videos, because he literally took Parkinson's patients and he gave them glutathione. And before, they were like, they couldn't walk, and they're like skipping, literally skipping. It doesn't last long, but nevertheless, it had an effect. So we give it for chronic disease a lot, and also for beauty, for skin lightening. So I have clients who come and they just want to have a little lightening effect, and that it's that, or they've got some pigmentation, you know, in the pubic area and things like that. Well, I'll make a glutathione cream, or I'll do a few, you know, treatments. Helps. So in Asia, it's used. When I was in Asia with Villa Medica, the clinic there in Bangkok, we did so many. We started that whole treatment regimen of glutathione. Yeah.
Awesome. Dr. Naina, I can't thank you enough. I am so pleased to have you on board with me to help people educate themselves, heal themselves. What's the best way to contact you?
You know, email. Just do a Naina MD, Beverly Hills at nainamd.com. Okay. Or just give us a call at 310-777-7511. But info at nainamd.com is great. That's a short one. Info at nainamd.com.
Thank you so much, and we will see you next week.
Okay, see you next week. Bye-bye, my dear. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Love. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody.